Hey guys, I'm LeilaFox. Today we're on test server and we get to check out the brand new champions, Karato and Yumeko. Before I hop into the test server and show you the brand new champs, there's this really cool intro we have for them, so let's check it out. I just love them. They look amazing, don't they? And as we can see there, you saw like there was the heart in the background. You see the rose petals. So these two happen to be the Valentine's Day Fusion Champ for February 2022. So let's go check them out on the test server. All right, so here we are on the test server account, and the first one up we have is Yumeko. So you see that she's a legendary support void champ for the Shadowkin, and I have to say, looking at her kit, she looks amazing. I mean, first of all, just looking at her, she's beautiful. We have this beautiful fox champ that they gave to us, and I'm not just saying that because she's a fox, right? But she really is. Her design is gorgeous. I love how her tail's got this blue fire. It looks so neat, and I just genuinely love what they did. They made her look beautiful, and I think she fits the Shadowkin faction so well. So we look at her abilities. What's really neat is she kind of reminds me if like Warlord and Kaimar had a baby, is basically kind of what we have here, and you're gonna see what I mean in a minute. So her A1 is called Wear Claws. She steals turn meter if this champ has 50% HP or more. Each hit heals this champ by 30% of damage inflicted if this champ has less than 50% HP. So like I've said before, I'm such a fan of abilities that have turn meter reduction or, turn meter increasing abilities on the A1. So I think this is really cool. Then they add in this healing part of it as well too. Destiny's Mirror, we're seeing a lot more champs with this hex. So with Destiny's Mirror, 80% chance of placing a hex for 3 turns. Now her passive is whenever an enemy tries to place debuffs on either this champion or an ally, there's a 55% chance of transferring debuffs to a random enemy under a hex placed by Yumeko. This happens before any debuffs are placed, and it's a 30% chance instead against bosses. Now, we mentioned before these two are new champs, so Karato and Yumeko are actually, they're companion champs. They have some bonded abilities together, so we'll see more of that when we get to Karato. Whenever someone fills the turn meter of an enemy under Hex debuff placed by this champ's turn meter is filled instead. Only available when Karato Foxhunter is on the team. So again, I love abilities that increase turn meters. I think that's just great. Dance of Time. Now this is one of the abilities I was kind of talking about here, is decreases cooldown of all ally skills by 3 and increases the cooldown of all enemy skills by 3. And we can book that down to 5 turns. I think that's just, it's so great. So we have another champ almost like a Kaimar that helps with decreasing the cooldown on abilities, but this one also increases the cooldown of enemy skills. We kind of have that like Warlord Kaimar thing kind of going on, which I think is neat. Her passive is called Deep Cover, places a perfect veil for 2 turns at the start of each round. She's immune to debuffs if she's under Veil or Perfect Veil. And whenever a Veil or Perfect Veil buff is placed on an enemy, she has a chance of stealing the buff instead. And this happens before the buff is placed. Now, this is only available when Karato is on the team with her. And so I love this. This is neat. I like these Veil Perfect Veils. I like the being immune to debuffs part that they have with her. And then her auras increases ally accuracy in all battles by 60. So she's definitely a solid champ. I'm really, really looking forward to playtesting her and seeing what we can do. And now we have Karato Foxhunter. Now, Karato is the actual fusion champ for February. So like I said, we have the 2 of them. They're a bonded pair. They're the Valentine's Day couple, but he's actually the one that's the fusion. It's going to be a traditional fusion. So just looking at him, I love his design. One of the things I had said before is I had seen a teaser for him back when they teased about the Hydra, and I actually think he looks kind of like Land from Wheel of Time. If we have anybody watching like the Wheel of Time Amazon series, that's what he really reminds me of. So I really like his design. I think they did a nice job. I like his sword. He just looks really, really well. And then we're gonna take a look at his kit. So 3 visitations is he hits 3 times with a weaken. Now that's great. I do love multi-hits and a weaken on an A1, so that's really good there. A2 is called Bedevil. Places a stun and grants an extra turn or resets the cooldown if Yumiko's on the same team and the skill kills an enemy. So he seems like he could be a solid nuker in some way, like a single, like solid, single enemy kind of nuker. And I love this too, almost like an assassin, where if he ends up killing the enemy, he gets an extra turn and the skill gets reset as well too. His A3 is called Suppression Ward. It's an AoE block active skills, which cannot be resisted if Yumiko's on the same team. And his passive is called Stoicism. Damage inflicted by this champ cannot be decreased by enemy passive skills or masteries, except by the passive skill of bosses. And damage inflicted by this champ cannot be increased by ally passive skills or masteries. Whenever Yumiko dies, instantly grants a turn to this champion. It resets the cooldown of each skill. So I think this is a very interesting passive. I don't think we have anything like this in the game yet, but I'm really curious to see how this could pan out in the arena, for example. Because like I said, looking at some of these other abilities, he makes me think he could be like a really solid, like single target kind of nuking champ who could really potentially do quite a lot of damage. And I think this is very interesting too. Some of these companion abilities that are together, where he gets another turn if she dies here. And then on his A2 is if he ends up killing an enemy with Bedevil, he gets another turn. So I think it's interesting how his grants extra turns when she's on the team. And then his auras increase ally crit rate in all battles by 20%. So I can't wait to get into this. I'm probably gonna do this live, on stream, get these guys geared, test them out, and see how these two actually end up running together in content. I'm really excited about it. I would love to know what you guys think. Are you thrilled with this couple that we have for Valentine's Day? I gotta tell you, I'm excited because I did see teasers for these guys like months back, and they were the only 2 champs teased. So I kind of had an idea, maybe they would be the Valentine's Day couple, and they are. Not to mention, pretty sure I got this month's cosplay in the bag, as it's going to be Yumiko. So leave me some comments down below, let me know what you think, and I can't wait to start playtesting these guys, getting some gear on them, and see how they do in content. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, check out some more videos up here in the playlist on the top right.